Good morning. How is everybody? Let's make sure that we're live in all the right places. Do I look like I'm about to work out? No. Maybe later. I swear I say this every time I come to YouTube, but it's just not easy for me. There I am, live right now. Live and in person. I wish it were Saturday night, but it's not. So hopefully I have a few people joining me this morning. I tend to have a terrible habit, excuse me, of forgetting to remind you to come watch me. I need to set up something automatically so that I can, that can happen more naturally. That would be nice, right? Anyways, it is Tuesday morning, April the 30th. I have to remember to pay the bill for my daughter's gymnastics camp so that they don't kick her out of her session. It's due today. Isn't that exciting? See, this is what I remember. Good morning, Laura. Today we have really exciting news. The Girls and Women's Layla is finally out, and you can enjoy it as much as we've been wanting to share with you. We're super excited to share all of the awesome dresses that the lovely people in our group and the cute babies. Seriously, I love teenagers and tweens and adolescents, but when I see a baby wearing one of our patterns, I get a little giddy inside. And I think all of us are just oh, and then, of course I start nitpicking, what's wrong with it? But I love that we now include baby sizes. It's definitely making my heart happy, which is ridiculous. And I actually think this is related. I think it's in part because I'm done having babies, and so I like to see other people's babies, but then not have to be up with them in the middle of the night. I think that's important to notice. Anyway, so I'm just making sure I can keep up with all the comments on Facebook in case somebody asks me something important. I'm going there now, but then I'm going to cover my face up. All right, good. Oh, I am wearing a resolution, and you can see how not to do your HTV. I put it about 2 inches too low. I should have put it right here. And this is so old that this was during testing, so it's probably a pre-test version. This is the color blocked version. Wait, now you can see the back, right? I'm not wearing a fancy bra, I'm just wearing a racerback bra, so you can't see all the cute stripes or anything. The resolution is one of our unloved patterns. It's a racerback tank. It's either a solid or a color block version. I think it might only go up to a 3X. Maybe I should check that. But I'm wearing it. I've realized that when I get dressed in the morning, if I go ahead and put on my workout clothes, I know that I'm going to work out at some point, and I have started working out almost every day. I think it's some little program I'm doing with a friend. And it helps me. It helps me remember that I got my workout clothes on. I'm supposed to be working out. So anyway, it worked yesterday. And this way I don't dirty up more clothes because right now I can't even open the door to my laundry room because we are overrun with laundry. Okay, so back to where I started. And just in case you're wondering, the resolution comes with a sports bra as part of the pattern. It's not attached or anything. It's separate. But that way you have, all your workout needs in one pattern, except for pants. I guess you want pants. But then you have free ninjas for pants, right? I actually have a list of clothes that I would like to make for myself because yesterday I was standing in my closet and lamenting that I have no summer clothes. And my husband laughed at me and reminded me that I own a pattern company and that I have a lot of patterns I could be making. I think I'm in that weird spot where I'm not quite ready for summer dresses, but I'm ready for sleeveless or short sleeves. And I don't have a lot right now. I have a lot of dresses. And so I want to make some short sleeve Nancy's and, Virginia tanks. I really enjoy a good tank top. And I have a Virginia tank dress that I wear all the time. And so I think I'm going to knock out a couple. I have some bamboo lycra that's super soft, and I think I'm going to knock out a couple solid color tanks. Hopefully, probably not today. Hopefully this week. Anyway, so the Women's and Girls Layla is live today. You can buy it separately, or you can buy it as a bundle and get a little bit extra off. We have been waiting, maybe you remember that the Girls Layla was part of the SoFab bundle, and so we had to wait until April 30th to put it on our own site, and today is April 30th. Woo! If I could not throw confetti because it's never going to get cleaned up, but I'm super excited because we have waited forever to share this pattern with you. So I'm going to show a couple of sneak peeks that I pulled up. Let's see if I can. Aha, here we go. All right, so if I go here, you can see this is the lovely Laura Frost. I don't know everybody's names, but some people test for us more often than others. I don't even think she lives in the South, but this is something I would see at Easter here in Georgia. I love the polka dots, though. How cute is that? If you did that in brown polka dots, it's almost close to little Julia Roberts. You remember that scene? Anyway, I loved it. I love showing that it came in long sleeves, too. I just thought that was super cute. I liked this one with the plaid because it really showed you the detail of the beautiful princess seams in the sash. And for the back, you can use either buttons or snaps. The only notions you really need extra are buttons or snaps and clear elastic for the neckline. As I've mentioned before, I buy my clear elastic in bulk. And so I'll share that link with you one more time because it has served me well. I have a 500-yard bag of 1/4 inch clear elastic. It's awesome. And I use it for so many things, between bathing suits and dresses and even stabilizing shoulder seams. It's super awesome. I loved this black version because the sewist really dressed it up, and you can really, with a solid, I feel like that might be like a scuba. Somebody can correct me. But I'm not sure what type of fabric that is. But I love how strong, I guess would be the word, the pleats look on that version. And it looks super classy. So those are just a few of our samples that I wanted to share. Let me go back to me. Maybe somewhere. Nice. Oh, there we go. Hey, all right, I'm back. So we're really excited that you've already seen the girls version, but I can't wait to start posting my pictures everywhere because the ones of my girls, I don't get professional photos done often enough, quite honestly. And so I happened to get some of the twins wearing their Layla dresses at the farm, and they're so beautiful. And I used some fabric from Mr. Domestic's line. I don't know if you follow Mr. Domestic. He has a Facebook group as well as an Instagram channel. And he is just super positive and just filled with so much joy that I really, really enjoy both his Facebook group and his feed. I feel like in a lot of places in life right now, there's a lot of negativity. And his channels are just so positive. Somebody posted an I Love Lucy shirt that they had made for their loved one, and it was so fun, and just all of the comments were super positive. Anyways, I love that. And so I'll put some links because I think he's cool. And he does these really cool Christmas ornaments that are really detailed too. Anyways, I'm getting off subject. But my plan is to post in there and then tag him as well as his parent company for his fabric line and try and get some extra love that way because I use an art gallery knit and woven. So for the Layla, both the women and the girls, I already mentioned that you need clear elastic and buttons or snaps. This is the clear elastic that I buy in bulk, and I keep it at my feet, and I just have a long string. And somebody just said that they're still struggling with clear elastic. Somebody else posted a link to if you have a serger, how to thread it through this little opening in your serger foot. And I'm pretty sure, hopefully Laura will tell me, that we have a sewing school about clear elastic. I like to use Wash Away Wonder Tape to hold it in place. And I also leave a tail so that it doesn't get caught in the beginning. Oh, Christine was going for a breakfast at Tiffany look. I liked it. And so it is a little tricky, and my serger will spit it out, and then I'll have to start all over. So I try the Wash Away Wonder Tape as I'm getting started with the clear elastic. The trick with putting it into the foot really helps. Joanne asked if it can be made with a plain solid back. It will still have the princess seams. We didn't include a piece that was just a one-piece back. but you can make it all in a solid. I know that for one of mine, so I don't think I can quickly find the pictures of the twins. But for one of mine, I was using this art gallery net that I already commented on, and it was really tricky to get the turtles to line up, and I was doing a lot of fussy cutting, and I actually ran out of fabric and had to order more because I messed it up so many times because I'm just not used to fussy cutting. Fussy cutting is when you like try and get a certain part of the fabric to show up on what you're doing. If you don't do it a lot, and if you're not doing pattern matching a lot, then it is definitely tricky. So, goodness. I'm trying to show you guys what was I trying to show you? Oh, the ones with the twins. I'll go back over here. This one is good. Here we go. So, and these are my girls showing you that it has pockets. And I got a lot of comments. They wore these to a school Easter party and a couple other things like Easter egg hunts and whatnot. And now they just wear them to school. But for one of them, it must have been this one. It was the sleeveless one because I wanted to use the same fabric and the armhole just so that I didn't have like a glaring black or a white. But what I used was the front bodice, and I laid it down and like traced around it to just have a one piece. So this is my child with some sensory issues, and I don't know if you guys have kids like this, but sometimes you work really hard on a project and you're super excited to give it to your kid, and they lose their minds and decide they're never going to wear it and that you're trying to kill them. And so like sometimes it involves screaming and crying and stomping. Anyway, I love this child desperately, but she does have some sensory issues. And so instead of putting the princess seams on the lining, which they aren't itchy because they're enclosed, but I just was trying to cover every step because I did not want to pay for these photos and have her lose her mind at the farm, and not get any photos. Anyway, so I was trying to just think of everything I could. Long story short, or long story long in this case, I did trace around the bodice and make the lining a solid piece. And that was an easy adjustment to make. You can send me a question if you need more details than that. But I got a lot of comments that these look like Matilda Jane. That's really popular where I live. I've tried pointing out that Matilda Jane uses a lot of different factories in a lot of different places, and so none of the clothing from size to size or item to item runs the same. And so if you go to a trunk show for Matilda Jane, if you know what Matilda Jane is, it's like they have trunk shows at people's houses, and I've only been to one. It was a super social event with some friends from school. And so it was fun, but the woman running the trunk show was like, that one runs big, this one runs small, that one runs long, and it really threw me off. I ordered a couple of things that were overpriced in my opinion. And my kids didn't love them because, one ran too big and one ran too short, and it was just very apparent to me. So anyway, I like creating that on my own. I know that mixing patterns is not for everybody. My husband definitely thought that I was a little crazy for putting these together, but personally, the twins are happy. I'm happy. They love that it has pockets. Anyway, be on the lookout. You're going to see Layla's all over the place today. We're super excited, and we hope that you guys are too. If you could show us a little love when it pops up in your Instagram feed, or by sharing some other photos, or just commenting when you see it, that really helps us get the word out and share it with more people. And we really appreciate it, because it does feel like a community. When I post something in a group that's even my own group, and people comment on it, I know that I struggle. I struggle with sort of authentic comments that it's just, I'm not a super bubbly person. I'm not a effusing excitement type person. And so I really, really struggle with commenting sometimes. And a lot of times I warn people in my testing groups that I get so focused on making sure that the pattern is right that I'm like, oh, it's too short in the front, and this needs to be fixed, and this needs to be fixed. And then I hit enter, and it posts the comment, and then about 5 seconds pass, and I'm like, and I really like your fabric. Because I do, but it just, it's just not what comes natural to me and easy. And so when I see posts pop up in the 5 out of 4 group and I'm surfing along, I do take a moment and tell you how much I love it, and especially when I see like moms and daughters matching, and I see a little bit of joy. Oh, there was one other picture that I really wanted to share with you of the Laylas, and it was a matching set. Let me close out some of these, and I'll go back over there. So this, I just thought it was just so cute, right? There's a couple on this series with this particular set where they're walking across the street and the mom is wearing high heels, and it's just, oh, it makes my heart so happy to see all these adorable sets. And here's another one that, I mean, gosh, you took the time to make 2 for your daughters. I'm kind of blown away because I make 1 and I have to like really push myself to finish more than 1 of anything. And my kids are always like, they joke with me that I make patterns for kids, but I never sew for my own kids. And it's kind of true, unfortunately. I want to, and I make lists on my whiteboard of, oh, so-and-so needs this, and Kelly needs shorts, and blah, blah. And then a whole season passes, and they still don't have those things. So, you know, I try, and can't say I always persevere or something. But anyway, moving right along. So included in the Layla tutorial is a video on how to do a box pleat, which is part of the skirt to the Layla. And the lovely Laura did a video for us that we linked to in the tutorial. That's one of the things that we've been trying to do for the past year or 2, I think. But then Laura will also post it to the blog with a link to the sewing school video, so that in case you have another skirt pattern or whatever with box pleats in it, it just shows you really clearly how to do it. And I love Laura for putting all that together. Usually her sewing school videos include both the video, the blog post with the, maybe a little direction in it, but also a lot of them include a PDF download that will include just step-by-step with photos, just to show you how it's really done. And I love it. Anyway, moving right along. So I mentioned both in the newsletter, which I almost forgot to write. Oh my gosh, Louisa, you're at 4 Laylas. That is, hats off to you. Seriously, that is respect right there. And if you haven't seen Louisa's baby, you got to take a peek. Seriously, I wish you were my neighbor because we'd be playing with the baby all the time. Anyway, so I have finished the Alice high-rise swim bottoms. Ridiculously cute. So I said before it includes a waist flounce and a waist tie that'll tie in the front and a knot. But then with the flounce, Rochelle decided to try more of a peplum flounce. So it's the same length as the side seam instead of like a short flounce. It's a little bit longer. But I wanted to keep it away from covering up the top of the thighs, because sometimes I think that can, especially with the flounce, which is, flouncy, right? So it's got a little movement to it. I think that it can add width right where we don't want to add width. So I kept it equal with the side seam. I'm not going to look for pictures right now, frankly, because I'm not that well organized. But because of Easter holidays and my own crazy life with 6 kids, I missed the window on getting it out in April. But I think that I'm just going to take part this Friday and get it out on Friday. That way it'll be in the newsletter. We'll also have a promo pattern out on Friday that's probably not related to swim at all. And we'll still have Layla on sale, so it will be like a hella party over here at 5 out of 4. So I'm really excited about that. The Alice, it went super smoothly. We're also going to try and use this same high-rise shape because I like that little retro look, and I think that it makes me happy because I do have 6 kids and no abs. And we're going to change it up a little bit for another pattern later this summer, just to add some more options to our swim arsenal. If you didn't see Tasha's blog post on the spring capsule that she did for Sly Fox Fabrics, I definitely recommend you take a look. I wish that I was that well organized. I'll be perfectly clear. If I were that well organized, I would dress a lot more nicely more often. And it makes me sad when I hear my kids say, oh, I just want to try a little bit harder. And I know that if I tried a little bit harder, they might try a little bit harder, and instead we all end up looking barely put together. It's okay. I realized early on that I was not a fancy dresser, and even if I get invited to a mom's night out, I'll be like one of the few people not dressed up. I just don't have time for that. I like to be comfortable no matter what. So moving right along, I've already mentioned the resolution. Part of what I'm faced with right now, I have the Lizzie dresses that are in testing right now, and it's going super smoothly. Again, I tend to think that everybody has super long arms like I do, and I always put the pockets too low. I don't know what the learning curve here is. Maybe I'll get it right eventually. Louisa will tell you, I think it was Louisa that figured it out. They're a good, 6 to 8 inches too low right now. But other than that, it's looking really good. I did include a full bust adjustment piece for the women, and then of course the kids includes the baby sizes. And I love it. I love that it can, this came up in one of the testing groups actually. One tester said that she wanted the elastic casing for her waist because she felt like she didn't have a very big bust, and it really helped draw attention and, make give her a little bit more shape. This is my problem. I love an elastic casing because I don't have a teeny tiny waist, but it just gives me more shape, and I like that. My mom is telling me that Ginny is always put together. That's true. She's a very stylish child. Anyway, but then another tester who was a little who made this awesome hot pink version that I thought was just adorable. And she did the high-low, which is even more adorable with heels, and that's so not my style. I've never worn a high-low in my life, and I haven't worn heels unless I was going to a wedding or a funeral since I quit my corporate job. But she said that she really liked the A-line silhouette, and my sister and I had the same conversation. My sister's a little bit older than I am, and she made a comment, I think it was last summer when I did the Virginia dress, that she didn't like the knit waistband because she wanted to not draw attention to that part. And I really, that's one of my favorite things about the Lizzie dress, is that you can do it both ways. I had one tester just this morning, made my heart explode because her daughter wanted her to whip up another one for school, and her first muslin was already dirty, and so her mom just made a quick tank. She even left off the flounce. And it's just a cute spaghetti strap tank dress, easy to wear. You'll wear it all summer long. I love it. So I'm really excited to share that. That will probably come out next Tuesday, which I was going to look at the calendar, and I'm probably messing up the video right now, but it is the 7th. So I'm going to have the Alice out this Friday the 3rd. Layla is out today. Alice is out Friday the 3rd. Lizzie's, hopefully, if I get my stuff together and get everything finished, will be out the 7th. So that's a lot, right? And then on top of that, we have we're so close, we're like 100 and something away. Tasha posted it this morning. 150 members or something away from 25,000 in the Facebook group. And then, thank you, Stephanie. And then we just passed 1,000 followers on YouTube. Come follow us on YouTube. I really think that video is going to be the next blog. So this could be my blog post for the week. I enjoy talking to myself in a well-lit room. But I like doing the YouTube videos. I like sharing a little bit of my day and everything else, and maybe not feeling quite so alone. But so if you can take a minute, come follow us on YouTube. You can watch the Tipsy Tuesday videos over there. And if you like them and you comment on them, it just helps us gain a little bit of more momentum. Passing 1,000 followers was fantastic. I am not earning any money on YouTube. It is strictly for my own enjoyment. If you want to know how you earn money on YouTube, I need 9,000 more followers. YouTube just changed their rules. Before, everybody's like, I'm going to be the next YouTube star. And they would run advertisements on your videos. But now, with so many YouTube stars out there, they've upped how many followers you have to have. So we're not earning any money over there, but we are slowly making some momentum and some progress over there, and it's super exciting. So other than that, I have a little bit of pattern ADD. have still on my very messy cutting table the tie front tank that I just stopped. It didn't bring me joy. I could just do it simple with the tie and have white showing if you have a white back. I'm letting that marinate. It's on the back burner, I'll be perfectly honest. And then I thought we just needed a simple tank like this, but with a flounce. I think that every summer after summer, especially on my kids' friends, I see it on every bikini top and every tank top. And we ran across one that I thought would be a really cute day-to-day tank. So I'm thinking about that. And then I started perusing the Anthropologie website because I love that store. I have not bought anything from that store in over a decade. It's really fancy. I'm not super fancy, but I love going in there because of all the fabrics, and it's just so beautiful. But I was looking on their website and kind of laughing because their pictures for their swimsuits are frankly laughable. They're all teeny tiny, and a lot of them have like totally squished boobs, even though they're a size extra, extra small. So we really entertain looking at those. But I ran across this woven romper. Now, I've worn a romper one time in my life. It was a pre-test for the Stella romper last summer. I'm not a romper person. But this, I'm not even a woven person because it reeks that I'd have to iron it, and I don't iron clothes if I don't have to, again, unless I'm going to church or to a funeral or a wedding. Okay. But I saw this woven romper, and I was in love with it, and so then I started thinking about it, and we'll see what happens. It looks really hard. And I like hard. I like challenging, but it's a lot. Yeah. So I have that going on. And then I also have a call to update some of my older patterns. A year or so ago, we expanded our size range to include 5X, and then last winter we expanded our child size range to include baby sizes. I love it. I love having that inclusive of a size range. If I could have all the time in the world, I would immediately bring up all of my old patterns and have inclusive sizing on all of them. It is incredibly time consuming. And it's not that I'm not going to do it. I am going to do it, but I really need to attack it in a very methodical way, which is not my best habit. And so, like, I mentioned the resolution. I'm pretty sure it only goes up to a 3X. One of our most popular patterns, actually, is the knot. I opened that pattern, and I actually, get a little cringy because it was my very first pattern. I have learned so much in the last 4 and a half, 4 years, something like that I opened that up, and I just kind of want to hide a little bit. And it's not terrible. It's really not. It is a quality pattern, but I know that with my current knowledge, it could be so much better. And so when I update that one, it's going to be a labor of love to get it to where I want it to be. I'm still proud of it because I think that focusing on a nursing pattern your first time out the gate was just like a huge accomplishment, and it made my heart really happy. But I want to expand that one to 5X, and I want to give the skirt a little bit more option for a little bit more breathing room in the waist. Anyway, this is a lot. It's a lot to cover when I get 2 to 3 days a week, and even in those days I get about 3 hours before I have to pick a kid up. And so, anytime I have a haircut or a doctor's appointment or whatever, then that's down to 1 day and down to 0 days. And so, yeah, I gotta prioritize. And sometimes prioritize means coming out with new patterns instead of updating old ones. But I am trying. I do hear you. I do want to update the old patterns. Laura has done an awesome job of posting both the blog post for the spring mini capsule, her sewing school video on installing clear elastic, and the link to the resolution bra and tank. And yes, I did wear rompers as a baby, and I have to be honest, Tammy, one of our testers in the Lizzie dress, asked about a baby version of the Stella, and my heart did a little poof. And so I might make that one first because I love rompers on babies. I love it. I love one-piece outfits on babies because it's so much easier than trying to find 2 things that match. My kids never match. And socks, never. Anyway, moving right along. All right, that is everything I have with you. So if you can, anytime you see a post for Layla, show a little love, because it helps me. It helps the women get more notice, and we've waited a long time to share this with you, and we are super excited about it. And then on top of that, so we have Layla, Women and Girls Today. We have Alice on Friday. We have a promo pattern on Friday that I'll leave as a surprise because I can't remember what it is. And then next Tuesday, look for the Alice Swim Bottoms. And then, as we move on up through, we have Mother's Day coming up. We're probably going to run a special on our gift certificates or gift cards. They're for any increment that you want, so you can tell your loved ones, hey babe, you don't need to buy me an iron, unless you want an iron. You can buy me a gift card to 5 out of 4, and then send them the link, okay? And then we also have Memorial Day, which we have a lot. We have a lot going on. So it's somewhere in there, we're going to include a celebration for 25,000 members in our Facebook group, and we're just going to roll it into Instagram, 3,000 followers, YouTube, 1,000, and again, none of this would be possible without you. So, as always, I'm eternally grateful. Thank you for being a part of my life, and I hope that you enjoy having me in yours, because this is awesome. This is like a dream come true every day. I'm going to end it there. I've gotten sappy enough. Hopefully you join me on Friday with the newsletter. I try and be a little entertaining because I write it after midnight. And I don't know, hopefully you see something you like. Thanks. See you next week.